housing crisis and cost of living are two key issues in the federal election. But Morgan Cox wants politicians to do more, and he's gone to extreme lengths to make his point. He's struggling to keep a roof over his family's head and is so concerned he's parked his campervan outside the Prime Minister's holiday home with a clear message he says is aimed at all politicians. I spoke to Morgan a short time ago. Morgan, how did it come to this, actually camping outside of the Prime Minister's home?
Well, initially, my personal situation, we got hit with almost a $10,000 a year rent increase, which was just enough to break us. Thankfully, my landlord's been very gracious, but that doesn't change the fact that 3.5 million odd people are in the same situation. And I feel desperate and obligated to try to get hold of the politicians, to get their attention and to get them talking about this.
Right, so is it about him helping you personally, or is it about full policy change?
It's about full policy change. I just feel it's a desperate situation that we're in and we just have to do something about it urgently.
I might just ask you, if it's okay with you, tell us how desperate is your situation? How hard are you working? How are you making ends meet?
Well, I'm working two jobs. I work in Sydney as an electronics technician. I install electronics in houses. I do pick up rubbish and buy things off the internet cheaply and repair them and sell them to try and make ends meet for that little bit extra. My partner can't work because we have a 1-year-old baby. So it's pretty tough. It's not just the rent, it's everything else as well, but the rent is the biggest hit at the moment.
That must have been a real blow when you're already struggling to make ends meet and then another rise comes along.
Absolutely, and a massive, absolutely massive one. It's really upsetting. You've got children to look after, you have a baby, you can't be homeless.
It's another step though to actually turn up at the Prime Minister's driveway. What made you take that extra step?
I felt obligated to do something about the situation for the millions of other people who are in the same boat.
Do you think that the Prime Minister doesn't understand there's a problem, or do you think that there's a lack of urgency?
I think he's got a vague idea that there's a problem, but I think he lives in a bit of a bubble and I don't think it touches him personally. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm really desperate to reach out, not just to the Prime Minister, but to anyone that will listen, that has anything that they can do about this. I'd like to show them around the homeless camps and just explain to them what it's really like. I think they just don't understand, and the situation is really desperate for a lot of people, and I just feel we really have to do something about this.
How would you fix it though? It's a tough one, isn't it? There's a lot of things that come into play. What exactly do you want the government to do?
Most of them, for instance, they're always banging on about building more houses, but building houses takes years. My suggestion at the moment would be to reduce immigration or manage immigration to match the available housing. So if we could just bring that down to a level to match our ability to build houses for a while, that would make a big difference to a lot of people very quickly. And then after that, we can talk about all the other options. And there are many other things that we can do.
Are you anti-immigration generally?
My partner is an immigrant. I'm pro-immigration. We'd love to bring her family here, but what good would it do us if we bring them here and we're homeless?
And it's just not immigration though, is it? We need more skilled building apprentices, tradespeople, financial incentives. It's a bit of a balancing act.
Absolutely. I can, off the top of my head, I can think of a bunch of things that would help. What
would it take for you to go home?
I would really love the politicians to reach out to me, and I'd like it if we could be heard. That's what I'm here for. This is a kind of a pretty desperate situation, and I've taken desperate measures here, but I feel like they're just not listening. They don't answer the phone, they don't reply to emails. What else can I do? So here I am.
What kind of response are you getting there from the neighbours, the Prime Minister's neighbours, and from people generally?
Generally, fantastic. I'd say virtually everyone here is in support, both of the idea and just me being here. I feel like it's hard to say everyone doesn't deserve a home. I certainly would hope that most people would agree with me.
How long do you plan to stay there?
I'd like to say as long as it takes, but I really need to get this message across to the politicians that just aren't listening.
Have you heard from the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister's people? Have there been any threats to move you on?
The police came around last night and they asked me to take down the sign because it said Albo. I have removed Albo from the sign. I don't know if you can see that there. No, I haven't heard from the Prime Minister yet. I'm really keen for him to reach out. Also, Peter Dutton and anyone else. I'd really love to hear from anyone in the government.
Are there any plans to target Peter Dutton given the impending election?
Well, he's not Prime Minister. Also, I don't know where his house is. So there's a bit of a challenge there.
So if you could sit across from the Prime Minister right now, if the PM is watching, what would you like to say?
I'd beg him to just listen to us, to what we have to say, and to listen to the things that we're asking for, in this case, homes. I feel homes is a pretty important thing.
OK, Morgan Cox, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.